Let's do it.
Hey, let's do this. Good morning.
Good morning. Are we live?
We are live.
Oh my God. Hi.
Hi.
I didn't know.
No, we're all
Good
good.
morning.
We're
How
like,
are you?
she went to Dutch Brothers.
Oh, I got to talk about that. 'Cause
Oh.
what an experience. Like, I got no offense, Starbucks. I love you so much. But Dutch Bros, my daughter likes them. And I could see why. I couldn't go there all the time, though, because I've got the Annihilator.
Oh, the Annihilator?
Yeah, but without sweet, though, because I don't like things too sweet at all.
Because she's sweet enough.
And with a soft top, a little foam that sits on top.
You sound like the Terminator.
And I didn't use a straw because it's a straw. And because I just said to my daughter, I said, I'll just get cream all over my face. It's fine. I don't care. I'll enjoy this coffee.
There you go. And you can have it on the stash
It's
and the
a
whole
chocolate macadamia syrup.
Just going to ask.
Macadamia syrup with breve, which I love.
Oh, okay.
And
why
coffee.
do they call it an Annihilator, I wonder?
I don't know. Let's
I don't know,
find
just
out.
don't
I'm gonna
annihilate
keep
me,
drinking
please.
it.
Okay, so yeah. Mine's just plain old, it's Brazilian Nesco instant cafe this morning, but I'll start doing different roasts. And
I like
I have a
that.
latte machine. I just was too tired this morning.
I like that as well. So today I was driven here by my daughter because I just had surgery this week.
I know.
Yes, still this week. I just had surgery Monday. I'm in recovery, but I made it.
I know.
Yay!
Look at she's smiling.
I'm not on any painkillers.
That's amazing.
I did do Tylenol for like 4 days straight.
Yeah.
And now it's just little pain, but I still can't go back to work for another week because I can't.
The muscles and all of that.
I had a left inguinal hernia. I had a right surgery before. Oh, and here's what I learned in surgery. This is the first time I've had surgery that I didn't throw up afterwards. And
I can only imagine.
I didn't have gas pains because they did, in 2019, they did the surgery with gas, I guess. And
gas for you to fall asleep.
Yeah, and IV, but this time they strictly did IV sedation, which worked much better on me.
Oh, wow.
So, I feel grateful.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like,
well, that's good to know. Now, if you
and going forward, I'll be like,
again.
No gas, please.
Yeah.
Enough. But anyway, so I'm happy to be here.
Wow. Well, we're happy you're here, and look at she's all smiley.
I
and
know.
happy, and
I'm
I
out
don't
of
know
the
if I
house.
would be that way.
I'm not in my pajamas. Kind of know I'm in comfy clothes.
This is pretty too. This is a really pretty blue top. It's like a blue gray.
It's so spring. I'm ready for spring.
Yeah, that's why I wore I don't know what color you call this.
I didn't have a sweater to go with this, so I was kind of bummed. I really wanted a little sweater.
Yeah.
You look nice.
This
look
is
at
just
you.
a fun little.
Like Cheryllann can dress up anything. She's got on a white tee, pearls, and a little gold,
what is that gold?
frock.
Yeah, it's like a little tie.
Mustard gold.
Like a mustard gold.
It's really nice and
just
little
fun
pearl earrings.
Those haven't been taken them out. I
nice.
just left them in.
Yeah.
But,
so how are you? That was me for the week.
Good. Just busy week. Just little wee on the tired side, but other than that,
tired. Yeah, tired.
Yeah. Because I went to let me grab the book.
You went to
I went to a book
signing
yeah.
last night.
So
I have not got to read yet. What's the name of this book?
This is when I got you.
Right.
This is the Real Estate Fast Track.
Nice.
By Scott Comey.
Because we're in real estate too.
Yeah. So
we do it all.
It was great. A great little event.
Nice. I had fun.
Got some fun little. This is from Sean Watson and his partner Dennis Witzler, and it's steak and salmon.
I love spices.
And then here, if you want to know who these people are.
Fun. That's gonna.
So
be
he says it's so amazing on salmon. I go, really? He's like, yes.
Can't wait to try it.
Yes, and he's with Remax down in Portland. So it took him like forever to get up yesterday. I think he got there like at 6 or 6:15. Took him quite a while. But we were so happy to have them.
Nice.
And then I forget who the taco truck was sponsored by. There's great little pork belly tacos, and
it's so fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Events. I'm glad you got out and you did it.
So that's why, I'm just a little tired.
Stayed out too late partying.
Well, later than not late. What 7:30? Oh, don't laugh. Please don't laugh. Don't laugh. But it's funny because I don't usually drink, and they had these like little wasn't what it's supposed to be using. It was like a little water cup, right?
Yeah.
And so I just grabbed it, and I only poured about this wine.
Was red?
Spilled about half of that.
Was it red?
It was white, because
good,
I know
good.
that I can't do the red because it would bring up.
Sulfites give you headaches.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I'm tired. The weather's changing, strong winds today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and just that little bit, I was like, ooh, kind of like a little buzzing.
Wow.
You know, because I don't even remember the name of the wine that I was drinking.
Yeah.
But it gave you a little bit of a buzzy.
Nice. Well, that's not such a bad thing.
But yeah, no. But it was just kind of funny night. But anyway.
Anything else to report before I get on to my person I'm doing today?
No. Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh,
see this?
I made muffins yesterday.
She made muffins,
I know.
and they actually have real blueberries. Look at that, people.
Oh, and raspberries.
Real raspberries.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm excited. I'll be kind of like silently munching on this.
I had visitors yesterday, friends bringing me flowers and stuff. And thank you for the beautiful flowers.
Oh, you got more flowers?
I got more flowers. I got an orchid. I was like, wow.
Oh, wow.
I know. I felt kind of spoiled. Yeah.
Miss America.
So
no,
spoiled.
that's, any kind of surgery is, oh yeah, look at that, people.
Okay.
Any kind of surgery is you gotta.
Well, today, I like we said, it's kind of funny, all the people we choose to do. There's so many people that we're going to do and talk about that inspire us. And it's so much fun.
Yeah, I learned so much.
I know. We're just like...
And I'm like, I just hope I can keep it in there.
Yeah, right? I mean, I'm not... Yeah. Today mine's a little bit long and perhaps a little bit dry because there's some details, but...
but these are super moist.
Yeah.
I'll make up for it.
And every day, is different. The person that we're researching or books that we're reading or listening to.
Yeah.
As Cheryl does. I read, she listens. Yeah. And so today I'm going to do Abraham Lincoln. He was,
I can't wait to hear more about him.
Now, this was kind of controversial because when I first started, I was like, I should do George Washington, the founding father, United States of America. Yay! And, but my daughter quickly schooled me. Everything's so PC now, and so I had to sit and think about it, who I wanted to do. Wow. So I settled on Abraham Lincoln. And he was also nicknamed Honest Abe.
Oh, yeah, Honest Abe.
And there was a good reason, I'll tell you that later. Why? So, Abraham Lincoln's presidency may have ended abruptly from March 4th, 1861 to April 15th, 1865. He was assassinated, but he left behind a legacy. And Lincoln's legacy is based on his momentous achievements. He successfully waged a political struggle and civil war that preserved the Union. He ended slavery then and created the possibility of civil and social freedom for African Americans. Really big deal in the United States.
That's a huge deal.
While his intentions may not have been the purest, his results were astounding and much needed. So there's always controversy about some of our great leaders that started America wanted to end slavery, but they couldn't for political reasons or family reasons. But there was many of them that did get on board and did try. And there was a war. I mean, there was an absolute war. And I'm glad it happened. I'm sorry for the people that died and lost their lives, but it was definitely needed.
But we're very grateful for what the outcome of that.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we don't forget the fallen, but we do appreciate the result.
Sorry.
Okay.
You got me a little choked up there.
I'm going to drink some coffee while she's joking.
Sorry. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Oh, don't laugh.
I got it. It's better. I can laugh now.
Make sure I don't make her pop a stitch.
I swear to God, getting in and out of bed has been so difficult. I feel like I've already popped stitches. I hope not.
Oh, yeah. I can only imagine.
My source notes today are from Wikipedia, National Geographic for Kids, because I learn from reading kids' books and kids' information, because I always have. Whether it's learning a foreign language, I always start with the kids' lessons.
I wouldn't think that. No.
They get the information. They get the same information. They just get it put in simplified terms, which I appreciate, because a lot of the other information I got in here is super dry. So every now and then when I have something fun, it's probably from the kids portion.
Yeah, well, it makes it
more enjoyable,
easier, more enjoyable, and more comprehensive to where you can understand it.
So now every time I tell these stories, I do this. I try to imagine the time in which the people were alive, their way of life, what they must have gone through just to get up and function in the morning. I mean, you know how it is for us. Can you imagine in the 1800s? No. Yeah, I know, right? Like, where's my coffee? There is no coffee. Right. Where's my bathroom? There is no bathroom.
Yes.
Where's my hairbrush? I don't know. It's fascinating to let your imagination take you there, though. What were they wearing? Of course, I always want to know, like, mostly for the women. The men I can't relate to because I'm not a man. But women, I'm like, how did they get ready?
Oh, man, the corsets and
then I did want to give a nod to our founding fathers of the U.S., United States of America.
Excuse me.
And I had pointed out why I didn't choose some of them, and it wasn't their fault, really. Some great men started our country in the U.S., but they were born into farms and plantations where slavery was. Some ratified this, and some could never do it for political and other reasons. But this is not the case with our 16th president, Abraham. Perhaps it is controversial in the ways he did it, but he indeed did it. And that's all we care about.
Yep.
So Abraham was born February 12th, must have been winter, 1809. That's it.
1809.
What is that, like a couple hundred years ago? And Sinking Spring. Their names were fun.
What was it called? Sinking Spring.
He was born in Sinking Spring Farm, Kentucky. And then he was assassinated April 15th in 1865 in Washington, D.C. His assassin was John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah,
Booth was so against the idea of equality. He so embraced white supremacy that he thought it was grounds for killing Lincoln. He actually had another plan, which we'll talk about later, and it went awry, and that's how he ended up killing him.
Oh, wow.
However, before Abraham Lincoln died, he was an amazing man and accomplished amazing things for the U.S. So let's get into it.
There we go.
This is where it gets a little dry for me, but that's okay. Details. It's all in the details.
Yeah, we need to know it.
So Abraham was the second child of Thomas Lincoln and Nancy Hanks Lincoln, which I heard is related to Tom Hanks, FYI. He's in the family.
Oh, Tom Hanks. Wow.
Yeah. I heard. I don't know if it's true. I did not fact check that, people, so don't hold my feet to the fire.
Rumor.
He was born in a small log cabin. His father was a descendant of Samuel Lincoln. That name, Lincoln, that's a cool name.
Yeah, I think of Lincoln Continental. You go to cars.
Right, fancy. Or Lincoln Logs.
Or Lincoln Logs.
He is also a descendant of the Harrison family. His paternal grandfather, whom he was named after, Captain Abraham Lincoln, was killed in an Indian raid in 1786, in which Thomas, Abraham's dad, witnessed when he was just 8 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Because it was so sad. I mean, that, I just, that part I try not to imagine, because that's brutal, what they went through for everyone involved, from the natives to the people, just brutal. So Thomas grew up fast, that's Abraham's dad, and he worked odd jobs in Kentucky and Tennessee before his family settled in Kentucky. In Kentucky and Indiana, Thomas worked as a farmer, cabinet maker, and carpenter. At various times, he owned farms, livestock, and town lots, paid taxes, sat on juries, appraised estates, and served on county patrols. Boy, they had a lot of time on their hands.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't do any. I mean, we just go to one event and we're pooped out. We're so tired. Imagine that if they, we're like serving on boards and stuff.
I know.
Anyway.
They had a more simple life too.
Yeah.
So it all balances out.
Yeah, and they had to go to bed early and get up early when the light came.
Packed everything in that 5 hours, right?
Yeah. It really gives you the essence of getting stuff done. Right?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Good role models.
So, Thomas and Nancy were members of a separate Baptist church, which forbade alcohol, dancing, and slavery. Well, no dancing. I wish they could have had a little alcohol and some dancing, but the slavery, I'm glad they didn't believe in that. Overcoming financial challenges, Thomas in 1827 obtained clear title to 80 acres in Indiana, an area which became Little Pigeon Creek Community. Also, my husband has some history in this because his grandfather owned a farm I don't know if it was in Minnesota or Wisconsin or one of those country places that was owned once by Abraham Lincoln.
Oh,
and
how
my
cool
husband
is that?
was very
That's
sad
awesome.
that after 100 years of it being in his family and being passed down, from one of the Lincolns or whatever, or Abraham or whatever, the family, that no one could afford to buy it, even though it was affordable. So my husband was really sad.
Yeah, I get that.
So here's hard life. These people are living a hard life. Abraham's mom died on October 5th, 1818. She died from what they believed was milk sickness, which I had to look up because I had never heard of it.
Milk sickness.
The milk or meat could get tainted that the cows or lambs would ingest from a toxin in a snake root plant. Official name on Wiki, because I couldn't say it, so you can look it up. Snake root plant, milk poison. I know.
Wow.
This left 11-year-old Sarah, her daughter, in charge of a household. I know, including her father, 9-year-old Abraham, and Nancy's 19-year-old orphan cousin, Dennis Hanks. So it's kind of neat how they did take in family, sometimes. Yeah. And it also helped them with their chores and farming, too.
Oh,
so.
yeah, that's why they had a lot of kids to
right.
do all of that because,
But the saddest part, 10 years later, on January 20th, 1828, Sarah died while giving birth to a stillborn son, devastating the Lincoln.
My goodness.
That Lincolns that were still alive, which was Thomas and my nose is itching. Thomas, it's hay fever season here in the Pacific
and the
Northwest.
wind's blowing it around today.
Oh my gosh, we have
Big
so many
time.
beautiful trees that are blooming. Yeah. So on December 2nd, 1819, Thomas married Sarah Bush Johnston, a widow from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, with 3 children of her own. That's kind of cool. So he got remarried.
Yeah.
Abraham became close to his stepmother and called her mother.
Aww.
Lincoln disliked the hard labor associated with farm life. His family even said he was lazy for all his reading, scribbling, writing, ciphering, writing poetry, etc. His stepmother acknowledged he did not enjoy physical labor, but loved to read.
Sounds like my son. Sounds like my son. Sorry, Alex. That's their equivalent of scrolling,
and
today
on
your phone.
My daughter. Sorry, Piper.
That's the generation came back.
Oh my God, that is. Well, we didn't raise them on a farm. If we would have made, but then they still could have been.
They could have just been out shooting something instead. So
anyway, Lincoln was largely self-educated. His formal schooling was from various teachers. He loved to read and retained a lifelong interest in learning. That's cool. That is cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're in
that's
sync
awesome.
today.
Yep.
He loved to read. Okay, we read that. Families and neighbors and schoolmates recalled that his reading included a bunch of different books, King James Bible, big one, Aesop's Fables, John Bunyan's The Pilgrim's Progress, Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe.
Oh, Robinson Crusoe is that old?
Yes, and the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. I know.
Wow, Lincoln, that's awesome.
I know, we didn't grow up in this time, so we're baffled.
Well, mesmerized too,
Yeah. Lincoln was the recipient of honorary degrees later in life, including an honorary Doctor of Laws from Columbia University in June 1861. Was he already dead then or passed away? I'll have to look at that date. That's interesting. Because sometimes they post, what's that word? Post, I don't know. They post after you're dead. They give you...
Postmortem?
No.
I don't know. A little slow.
It starts with an H. Anyway.
I don't know.
As a teen, Lincoln took jobs customarily gave his father all his earnings from work outside the home until he was 21.
Wow.
Lincoln was tall, strong, and athletic. He was 6'4".
Wow.
Yeah, he was a big dude. And athletic, and became good at using an axe. He was an active wrestler during his youth. He became wrestling champion at the age of 21. He should have started
axe throwing. He could have started a whole new craze. Obviously, if he's doing an axe throwing,
they needed that axe to drop the rope.
No, I know.
He gained a reputation for strength and audacity after winning a wrestling match with the renowned leader of ruffians known as the Clary's Grove Boys.
Oh, Clary's Grove Boys.
In March 1830, fearing another milk sickness outbreak, several members of the extended Lincoln family, including Abraham, moved west to Illinois, a free state, and settled in Mason County.
I guess you can't just get rid of that milk weed then, right?
Snakeweed.
That snakeweed, because maybe it's just like
wild
everywhere and it's wild, and
or maybe it grew there, more prevalent.
Because I'm thinking, why would you move? Can't you just pull it? But if it's in the ground and if it's everywhere, probably just smarter to just up and move and get rid of the memories.
So it kind of got sad though. Abraham then became increasingly distant from Thomas, in part due to his father's lack of education.
Oh.
In 1831, as Thomas and other family members prepared to move to a new homestead in Coles County, Illinois, Abraham struck out on his own, which was about time. I mean, he was 21
that's sad. He just couldn't find that connection, it sounded like, with his dad, because his dad's like, well, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we got chores to do, boy.
Yeah, it's like,
Lincoln and some friends took goods, including live hogs, by flatboat to New Orleans, Louisiana, where he first witnessed slavery. So poor Abraham had lived a kind of sheltered life. Yeah, you know.
I'm with you.
Yep.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Shelters,
Oh, me too. Like,
I used sheltered. Very
when
sheltered.
I got to LA, they used to say I fell off the turnip truck because I came from Virginia. Yeah. And I was pretty gullible and naive to the ways of the world.
Same here.
From 1831, Lincoln had quite a variety of interesting jobs in his endeavors. He was in the Black Hawk War, enlisted as a captain in the Illinois militia.
What was that all about, I wonder? Black Hawk War.
I don't know.
We'll have to check that out.
Have to check it out.
Yeah.
When he came back home, he planned on being a blacksmith.
It just sounds so cool, Black Hawk.
He went through a lot. Like, he was like, I think I'll be a blacksmith. But he decided to go in business with a young friend named William Berry. Wow. They opened a general store and called it Lincoln Berry General Store. They were also able to get their bartending license and sold spirits and liquor.
Look at that.
They sold food and takeout. I know.
Takeout.
Dinners as well. So modern.
Takeout's been around for a long time then.
And here we are.
Cool.
And here we are.
Thinking
we're so harsh on kids for doing their DoorDash. But they've been doing takeout for a couple hundred years.
That is such a cool little thing to know.
It really is.
That is really cool.
So,
what great little entrepreneurs.
I know, right?
So
I think
proud,
so too.
So proud.
Unfortunately, the business failed, and Lincoln sold his share of the business. Well, Lincoln had a job as a New Salem postmaster and county surveyor. I could just see him walking around surveying.
Well, he was so tall.
Taking notes, you know.
But he's
this
so
is my
tall.
job.
He could really see
He continued
really well.
reading books and decided that he wanted to become a lawyer. He basically taught himself and read books on his own. He said of a legal education that I studied with nobody. That's in quotes.
Wow.
This is the early 1830s, and he is amazing. You know, I mean, self-taught people always impress me because I don't know. I definitely need a teacher and a group. I need some synergy there.
That's amazing. He had this inner drive.
I know.
To learn.
He really did.
And to
absorb.
That's amazing.
And, no wonder he became president.
Yeah.
He was admitted to the Illinois State Bar in 1836. He moved to Springfield, Illinois, and practiced law under Mary Todd's cousin.
We lived in Springfield, Illinois.
You did?
My parents did at one time.
Oh my God.
Because I was born in Elgin, Illinois.
So your parents' probably came out here on their little wagons.
Probably. I need to go learn more from my brother.
Yeah. You might be related to.
I might be.
She might be related to Abraham. Look at that hurts. Oh my God.
Don't laugh.
Oh my God. Okay, where was I? So he goes and practices law under Mary Todd's cousin, John T. Stewart. Oh. Mary comes into the scene later.
Oh, Mary.
Two Marys come into the scene.
Two Marys.
Mm-hmm. He was well known for his trial combat with his formidable cross-examination and closing arguments. Of course, he's tall. Everybody's fearing
just has to look at you. He had that look. He just looks down at you.
He had resting, serious face.
Yeah.
We'll call it that.
Yeah. Resting, serious face.
That's what I'm calling it. That's what I think.
He wouldn't use that word anyway, so there you go.
He was well known for his trial combat with his formidable cross-examination and closing arguments. He then partnered for several years with Stephen, I don't know if it's Stephen or Stephen, T. Logan.
Yeah.
He then began a practice in 1844 with William Hendren. He fought for the rights of Americans, and when an innocent black man was killed, it set off the events that eventually led him to run for the president. That's good.
That's
not good.
Happened.
That guy was
no, but that's
good.
How it's. That's I was always wondered how he became president. You know,
hence
I probably learned it in school, but forgot it. So.
Well, and when he was this lawyer, hence where the monkey or where Honest Abe came about. We will come back to more political talk momentarily, but let's back up and let the women of his life enter the scene, as through his political life, he also had a family. I mean, oh my God, like he's not doing enough. Then he's got...
Yeah, this guy's...
So there was much speculation that he had a thing for Anne Rutledge. She married someone else and died way too young. It was really sad. He was then engaged to a different Mary, not his wife, Mary Owens from Kentucky. She called off the wedding. Let's see why'd she do it.
Yeah,
I know why she did it. As she didn't
of course
think,
you do.
She didn't think he would make a good husband.
What?
Yeah.
You know. He became a president. That's not good enough.
Well, he wasn't a president then. He was a lawyer.
But, I mean, yes.
Yeah. Who knows what her criteria was? I don't know. Tall, dark, and handsome wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, dark. He went. No, I think he was a handsome in his own way.
Yeah, I think he was too. That's what I said.
Oh, I think you said
tall, dark, and handsome.
Thought it was opposite. Yes.
No. Then in 1839, he met Mary Todd, daughter of Robert Smith Todd. They were engaged, and Lincoln called it off, and he called it off.
Oh, he called it off
to the woman he actually married, and then they reconciled and married a year later. I don't know why they called it off. Oh yeah, supposedly when someone asked Lincoln where he was going whilst preparing for his nuptials, he replied, "To hell, I suppose." I guess
what?
Age-old adage of men.
I'm going to hell?
Yeah. Meaning, like life's going to be hell getting married. I don't know. A ball and chain. I mean, there's so many things. I don't know. I can't. I wasn't there, so.
Abe.
That's what he was quoted.
Well, he's being honest, right?
he was honest to a fault. They bought a house in 1940, or no, I don't believe
1944.
1844. Correct.
I'm like,
near his law office in Springfield, Illinois.
Yeah.
I wish I could have met him.
That'd be cool.
They had 4 sons, and this is really sad because only one would live to maturity, and the rest of the 3 sons would die before the age of 18 years old.
Oh, why?
They were tumultuous times, and fevers were rampant, and they just did not have the medications we have today. Abraham and his wife became very depressed as they both loved children. Mary was institutionalized for a while after the death of her husband and children. She would later live with her sister. But prior to this time, Abraham, now we're back into the work, the throes of work, because it just bounces back between his,
Good thing my brain bounces back and forth.
Yeah, we can track this. Abraham. So what we're talking about here, people, is that this man is self-made, and he went through a lot, as do many people in life, and he kept choosing to
push forward.
And that's what we promote. Prior to this time, Abraham worked his way up through the ranks of politics, always a busy lawyer and an advocate for people's rights. Abraham had served 1 term in the U.S. House of Representatives and lost 2 terms in the presidential race in 1860. But then, he got in the presidential race in 1860, he opposed the spread of slavery and got more votes than any other candidates. Oh. Abraham had been a Whig Party member, which I had to look up, WHIG, because I'm like, what is that? What am I getting into here?
What is that?
I had to look it up because it only existed between the 1830s and 1850s. It was a conservative party. He then became a Republican, in which he won the U.S. presidency.
Nice.
I know.
Nice. Is that where it's like a big wig party? They all wore wigs?
No. I was like, what's a wig party?
I know, just joking.
She's funny. I should have wore a wig, people.
There you could have been.
She's rubbing off on me.
Little top hat.
Little top hat. Yep. So Abraham was the 16th president, as we said, of the United States. And we told you the date. When Lincoln took office, the nation was divided. The southern and northern states fought and started a civil war, which finally took a turn in 1863. Through speeches such as the Gettysburg Address, Lincoln encouraged Northerners to keep fighting. In this famous dedication of the battlefield cemetery, he urged citizens to ensure that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the new people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Wow, that's heavy.
That just gave me chills.
Earlier that same year, Lincoln called for the end of the enslavement of people in his Emancipation Proclamation speech. Wow, that was a tongue twister.
Yeah, good job.
Wow. The Civil War for the Union. Oh, and I'm almost finished. I can't believe it. But it's such a story. I mean, they have made a lot of movies and documentaries, and I'll eventually
there's
watch.
a movie, isn't there?
Yeah, I'll eventually
I should
watch.
go check that out.
So the Civil War for the Union was won on April 9th, 1865. And this is so sad. And then he was assassinated a couple days later on April 15th. 6 days later.
Yeah.
Lincoln had many other accomplishments as a U.S. president, and you can read about. But what stands out is his overcoming so many obstacles, teaching himself law, and fighting for people's rights.
Yeah, strong attitude.
He had said that John Wilkes Booth, Lincoln had met him, and it is said admired his work in acting. It was really sad. Lincoln actually admired this dude's acting. Booth did not share his feelings for Lincoln. He was originally supposed to kidnap Lincoln, and the plan fell through, and he ended up shooting him instead, in which our beloved Abraham died of gunshot wound to the head.
What was he going to kidnap him and do what with him?
I don't know. I don't know. Wow. Say you have to have slaves? I'm not sure. It was horrible.
Maybe just
You can read more about Abraham and listen to the many stories of his life. But there's one thing I definitely want to do, and I want to go to D.C. You can visit his memorials, and especially the one in Washington, D.C. It's on my list, one of my must-sees. I heard it's wonderful. It sits right. They call it, I was asking someone who saw it the other day, it's the Lincoln Memorial. It's in Washington, D.C., and they call it the Lincoln or the Washington Mall. And I'm like, but there's not a mall there. It's like a body of land or water right in front of the memorial. Right. And they call it a mall. And I'm like, why do they call it a mall? I'm very confused.
Maybe because it's so big as a mall, they just,
I don't know. But anyway, this statue of him sitting.
Yeah, I'm picturing that already.
We should
That's
go.
Such a beautiful statue.
We should go on a field trip.
That would be fun.
At it.
That would be great. We should.
Okay. And so Lincoln is on the American penny.
Yes.
Yay, in front of the $5 bill.
Yeah.
Fun facts about Abraham. This is where I get it from the kids section. Abraham had pet goats and cats at the White House, in which his family enjoyed.
Nice.
And that is the story.
That's probably the last time they ever had pig and cat